Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. So today is day 19 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life, is it round 13 or 14? I've forgotten now. And this is a sketch from Ruth Lewendon, lovely Ruth Lewendon. She's left it really open for interpretation. I've left it in the top left-hand corner there. So just 4 photos down the left-hand side and then a long title in a big font. So I chose my background paper from 49 and Market Christmas Spectacular because I wanted the green, because these are all pictures of the kids having a picnic at Knowsley Safari Park way back when in June 2010. So I just had single shots of each of the kids. It's my 2 nephews and my 2, and I've just matted them onto white cardstock, and then I'm sticking them onto this floral paper from Vicki Boutin, Fernwood. I'm still working my way through the bits that are left from that collection. No doubt I'll be saying the same thing next year. It seems to go on, doesn't it? So I just wanted to add a border around the white cardstock like Ruth has done on her sketch. So I'm just cutting my white cardstock down to 11¼ inches, and then the green 49 and Market paper I will gut. So I'll just trim 1 inch in all the way around the sides. Now, it was a good job I did this because I realised that I'd left the branding strip on. I've been caught out by that before on 49 and Market papers. The reverse of their papers is quite often solid with no branding strip on. So if you're not careful and you're using that reverse side, you forget to cut the branding strip off like I did that time. So anyway, here I am using my trimmer to just cut 1 inch in from the edge to create the border, and then I can stick my white cardstock onto this. Now you'll see I stick the cardstock down and then rough up the edges using my fingernail. I just find that easier because when the edges are roughed up with the edge distresser, which is a much easier way of doing it, they become a little bit uneven and sometimes I struggle to get it central. So that's the reason why I'm doing it this way round. So I didn't know whether to use the reverse side of this paper or this side, but once I'd cut the white cardstock down, it seemed fairly obvious to me to use this side. It's a little bit more subtle than that bright green on the reverse. So the photo strip that I've cut from the black and white floral is the full 12 inches, so that will overlap that border, but I'm fine with that. I quite like the look of that actually on the page, and I'm going to add some layers around that border, and some of those will stretch the full 12 inches as well. So first of all, using the paper that I gutted from the middle to cut a thin strip, and I'm going to add that to the right hand side of these photos, obviously distressing all the edges as I go, and then I'll carry on bringing in stuff from Fernwood. So I've used 49 and Market for the background paper, but everything else is from Fernwood on this collection, apart from the bits and pieces that I bring in from my desk. So this is a branding strip that I saw with lots of words on it, and I just thought it was really cute and worked nicely. The colour works nicely with the photos, so I'm adding that. I add the full 12 inches, but then realised that actually I want it to be staggered a bit, so I will trim off one of the phrases at the bottom in a minute and re-stick it down centrally. So here I am just doing that. And that phrase I will keep hold of because I'm sure I can use it on a layout in the future. It says, begin anywhere. I've got it on my desk still. My desk's still a tip. I created this layout late last night and just left it as was to do the voiceover this morning. So this is the branding strip that I cut off the background paper. So bringing in that brighter green as a layer here. And this is where you can tell I'm tired. I was doing this last night. I start sticking things to the background very shortly when I actually wanted to keep all this loose so I could add some mixed media, but not to worry, I do still add the mixed media. I just have to go around the edges with my paintbrush. So these tickets are quite nice on this black and white stripy paper, so I'm just cutting one of those out to add as an element at the bottom of the page, and then I will cut out one of the other ones as well to add above that. So if you haven't got a lot of ephemera left from a collection, this is a great way of creating your own. Just look at the cut apart elements on the papers. Vicki Boutin's papers are brilliant for that, but so are Cocoa Vanilla and lots of others. Just create your own embellishments if you don't mind sitting and doing a little bit of fussy cutting. And shapes like this are really easy because they're just basically rectangles, aren't they? So scuff up the edges to hide any imperfections. So just adding that there. And I think it's at this point where I decide to glue everything down. Yes, I decide, this is something that I cut out from craft cardstock. It's one of our dies at Hey Little Magpie. And I didn't use it on a previous layout, but I thought because this is at a safari park and there's loads of mesh everywhere where the animals are kept in between one another in the different cages, I thought that would work nicely on this. So just adding that. I just have a little set of acrylic drawers on my desk and just throw anything in there that I don't use straight away so that I can use it. And then this sticker is from the 6x8 sticker sheets, I think. I just thought it worked really nicely. It says, "Life is filled with so many things awaiting to be discovered." So then a washi sticker that I'm going to add to the top here, and that just says, "Bring your own sunshine." It was a really hot day, so I thought that worked quite nicely. And then this one that says, "Today." I'm just adding at the top left there. Just looking through to see what else I can add. I love this black arrow piece, so that's going to be added just above those mushrooms that I'd added at the bottom, and I shall write the date on there, which was 4th of June 2010. And then this little yellow word is just says "noted." I'm just thinking actually I'm going to stick that down with some glue because it's the stickers aren't particularly sticky anymore. So that black tab is cut from my EK Success Punch, and I've just added that to the right, and I'll add a word sticker to that shortly. And then this loop of ribbon is just some from my stash, some white and yellow ribbon that will work nicely just to bring that yellow in. And then I'm going to look to bring some more yellow in shortly. So here's that word phrase that I was saying. It just says "our story." Works on any kind of layout really, doesn't it? And then another loop of ribbon in black and white gingham. Bringing black and white into pages is my absolute favourite. So just tucking that next to that yellow ribbon just to keep the cluster going. And then I've got this lovely smile fabric piece that we sell at Hey Little Magpie again, and I just thought that would work really nicely there at the bottom, just filling in that gap nicely. And I stick it on with double-sided tape so that the glue doesn't show through the fabric, because it is quite a thin, almost like a ribbon type fabric. So double-sided tape is definitely the best way to go with that. So I decided I wanted another ribbon loop at the bottom of the page just to bring that black down there. The yellow's going quite nicely. I will bring a little bit more yellow in a second. First of all, this lovely green heart. Again, this is from the Bits and Pieces range from Hey Little Magpie. And I think about putting this star at the bottom here, but in fact I move it to the top shortly. But I just put it there at the beginning and then decide to bring it up to the top there. So I need to find something else to fill in that gap there. So I find this little yellow ribbon tab, again from Hey Little Magpie Bits and Pieces. And I'm just going to loop that over. So I add some double-sided tape to stick it to the back, and then just bring in my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to staple it on. I'm really enjoying using staples at the moment, if you hadn't noticed. So there we go, it's nicely stapled down there. And then one of these JD 3D print 4-pointed stars that was from one of his Christmas collections. So now I'm coming in with my mixed media and continuing the theme of using these Tim Holtz watercolour pencils. I'm just picking up the colour from that blue, I think it's the speckled egg, and then I'm just going to run it down the right hand side of the page, and I'll just go straight through that mesh die cut. It picks up a little bit of the blue, but not too much. It still stays nice and craft coloured. And then just continuing to bring in, trying to add a bit more pigment, a bit more water, and bring in more. And I'm just, first of all, I just lay the first base colour, and then you can see I'm starting to sort of dot my paintbrush around, and that gives you the differential in the tones when you're using mixed media. And then finally I'll add some splatters, which again, when you splatter onto the onto the wet paint, it just sort of blends in, but it adds those different textures. It's really nice when it's dry. So just really making sure that I add a nice lot of splatters, and that I'm happy with everything as it is. You can see I've got a big blob there, and I managed to drip a blob on the right hand side, but I'll just mop that up with some paper towel, it's fine. So now going through my rub-ons, and I'll tell you about a mistake I made here. So first of all, I'm pulling out these beautiful border pieces. So I add one to the left-hand side here, and I wanted to add one to the right, just above that orange ticket that I've put. But the mixed media was still a little bit damp, So it didn't rub down, so I thought that's fine. I'll leave it until it dries and then add it on at the end. But it had managed to pick up some of the paint and it had lost all its stickiness, so it wouldn't attach to the background. So I had to throw that green one there. I had to throw it away in the end. It just didn't work. So a little tip for you all, do not add your rub-ons to any mixed media that's even slightly damp because it will ruin them. You won't be able to get them on the page. So these paint strips, you can see I haven't used them yet. They were from, I think they were from, they might have been Gardenia or possibly Spectrum Sherbet, I can't remember. But I'm just cutting a few little swatches to add a little cluster at the top right-hand corner here. Now, Ruth hasn't got that in her sketch, but I just wanted to use some of these rub-ons and thought they would look really nice at the top there. So that's what I'm doing. So just layering them over, and then I wanted to add a little butterfly just to finish off because obviously it's an outdoor picture, so I thought that would work nicely. So just getting that rubbed down there, and then I can work on my big title. And for the title, I've decided to bring in the Scenic Route stickers. They're really, really old stickers, but I absolutely love them, and I know I've been hoarding them, and they're really nice big black blocky letters. They were, you can see them there with capitals and lowercase. So I'm just going to spell out Knowsley Safari Park Picnic as my title. So I think that's counts as a long title in big font, does it, Ruth? I hope so. So I'm using my T-square ruler just to get everything straight because I realised that I was living dangerously there, not following a line of any type. And then adding my journaling at the bottom. And the journaling just says, time to stop for food before... oh gosh, I've got the page on its side. Time to stop for food before resuming on the rides with your wristbands, because they had wristbands that my sister had organised. So they could go on as many rides as they wanted to that day, and they really loved it. It's only little trains and things. They were only very young, but it was really sweet. So some more of those rub-ons from 49er Market at the bottom, just to finish this off. You won't see me rubbing those on because I waited until the paint was dry this time, but you'll see now in the close-ups. Thank you again for joining me. See you very soon. Bye.